Hi, it's Nick Astor with TriplePundit.com. I'm here at our Minneapolis GRI training event. I'm here with Mike Wallace. He's the director of GRI's Focal Point USA, and it's good that you came out and joined us today, Mike. Thanks.
No, thank you, and thanks to ISOS and the people of Minneapolis. Some great companies here this week getting trained on GRI. A really good audience yesterday that we talked to with a good group of companies, telling their stories about sustainability reporting.
So, Mike, we've been really happy with the attendance here in Minneapolis. We have a packed house here, which is a really good sign for the adoption of CSR reporting in general and GRI specifically. But nonetheless, GRI remains something that's pretty popular in Europe, but it's still just starting to catch on in the U.S. What's holding it back? What do you think?
Well, I think probably the biggest thing is that GRI left the U.S. when it was formed about 15 years ago, and so by leaving here and not being actively engaged with the community on the ground, a lot of people just have forgotten about GRI. There are a lot of long-term GRI reporters out there. They've been consistently doing GRI reporting for many, many years, but there wasn't a representative here on the ground to really go out and explain what GRI really means to companies. That's part of it. The other thing is that the U.S. has a tendency to have a sense of nervousness about voluntary disclosure. Part of that has to do with the litigation potential around making claims about things that you might not actually be able to keep up with. And the other is the tendency for inside corporate counsel or the general counsel of corporations to just not want to go that far in the sense of voluntary disclosure. We're moving into a space now with this type of disclosure is happening all over the world at breathtaking rates and at really interesting depths, and in fact it's moving into annual reports and becoming something called integrated reporting now. And that uptake globally is happening very quickly, but here in the U.S. there's just that litigation aspect, I think, that's holding the companies back.
That's pretty interesting. So those are some of the fears that are holding folks back from reporting. I wonder if you might be able to share with us some of the cases that suggest that we should report, whether or not it's mandated.
Well, I think what's been interesting is that the U.S. has really caught on in the last couple of years, and fortunately we landed back on the ground in the U.S. just about a year and a half ago. So we're here at the right time. We're able to get out there and talk to a lot of companies through forums like this or through conferences or through webinars, and the U.S. companies really take it on board quickly. So that's a good thing. The other good thing is that there's an endless demand for more transparency from everybody. Employees want to know that the company they're working for or going to work for are doing things good for the community and good for the world. So if you're going to disclose this information, one of the audiences is for your employees, and we heard about it yesterday. The other is the increasing interest from shareholders. Public pension plans, every state has a public pension plan. More of these public pension plans are very interested in greater transparency. They see the connection between sustainability performance and corporate governance, and they're asking not only the companies that they invest in to be more responsible and be more transparent, but these large institutional investors are asking asset managers to look at portfolios on their behalf of these issues. Now, because of that, and because of the entrance of companies like Bloomberg, we have new data we've never seen before, and we are seeing that there is ROI, definitive ROI, for those companies that holistically embrace this topic of sustainability, really embedded into their core DNA, and holistically approach this as a process, not just as a task of just reporting, but a process by which they actually integrate across various silos and get the whole team involved. And when a company does that, rather than bolt it on like a marketing campaign or a PR campaign, when they really embrace sustainability and GRI reporting, they do show more efficiency, and then they start to find new opportunities they never knew were there.
Well, that acronym ROI is going to be the one that the naysayers are going to look for most closely. Where can people go to find out a little bit more hard data on looking for a return on this kind of investment?
There's some great articles that are out there. If you look up Harvard Business School's articles on return on investment, they talk about sustainability reporting and GRI reporting. They did a lot of work with Bloomberg to look back in time. The Conference Board is going to be coming out with a study next week on this exact connection between corporate governance and sustainability. Again, we worked with the Conference Board on this type of work. You can find it at our website as well. There's a number of articles there that explain what's happening in the financial markets, how the stock exchanges are taking these things on board. So globalreporting.org is one place to start.
Mike, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Nick.